Welcome to Hard Time Sports. I'm Matthew Schneider. Today's topic is NBA season 2017-2018 and my top 8 teams in each conference to make the playoffs. Let's start off in the Eastern Conference. And by the way, these are not in any particular order. I'm just picking who's going to make the playoffs, top 8 in each conference. Not going to seed them. Just going to do what top 8 at any random that I wrote them down. So let's start off in the Eastern Conference. Boston Celtics will make the playoffs, led by Gordon Hayward, free agent, and Kyrie Irving, who they got in a trade with Cleveland Cavaliers. So Boston will make the playoffs, the Boston Celtics. Now, let's go to the second team that will make the playoffs in the Eastern Conference. Will be the Washington Wizards, led by John Wall and Bradley Beal. Let's go to the third team that'll make the playoffs in the East. The Atlanta Hawks, led by Dennis Schroeder and Kent Bazemore. Let's go to the fourth team that'll make the playoffs in the Eastern Conference. The Toronto Raptors, led by DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry. Let's go to number 5 team in the Eastern Conference that'll make the playoffs. The Miami Heat, led by Hassan Whiteside and Dion Waiters. Now let's go to the 6th team that'll make the playoffs in the East. The Cleveland Cavaliers, led by LeBron James, Isaiah Thomas, who they got in the trade for Kyrie Irving, who now plays for Boston, and Dwayne Wade, who just got bought up by the Bulls and signed a 1-year contract with Cleveland Cavaliers, as they will be a 6th team that'll make the playoffs in the East. And now let's go to number 7. The Milwaukee Bucks, led by the Greek Freak and Jabari Parker. If he can stay healthy, Milwaukee will make the playoffs. And the final spot will be the Philadelphia 76ers, led by Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, and the rookie point guard who they drafted this year. I forget his name, but he's pretty good. Those 3 will lead Philadelphia, who will be the team in the Eastern Conference this year that'll be on the rise, and they will make the playoffs. Like I said, not in any particular order. I just picked them randomly and put them down, and those are my 8 teams for the Eastern Conference. Now, let's go to the Western Conference. The Houston Rockets, led by James Harden and Chris Paul, who left the Clippers and went to Houston. They will make the playoffs. Let's go to the second team in the West. The San Antonio Spurs, led by Kawhi Leonard, who is going to be missed the first game of the season tomorrow with a quad injury. Hopefully he can get back. The Spurs will make the playoffs, led by Kawhi Leonard and the recent who they signed into an extension for 3 years, $72 million, LaMarcus Aldridge. Let's go to the third team that'll make the playoffs. The Memphis Grizzlies, led by Mike Conley Jr. and Marc Gasol. Let's go to number 4 team that'll make the playoffs. The Oklahoma City Thunder, led by the reigning MVP of the NBA, Russell Westbrook. Recently acquired Paul George and Carmelo Anthony. Let's go to the 5th team that'll make the playoffs in the Western Conference. The Portland Trailblazers, led by Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. Let's go to the number 6 team that'll make the playoffs. The defending NBA champs, the Golden State Warriors, led by Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and dirty Draymond Green. Yes, dirty Draymond Green. Now, let's go to the 7th team that'll make the playoffs. Led by Karl Anthony Towns, Andrew Wiggins, and the recently acquired Jimmy Butler, who left the Bulls. They will be a 7th team that'll make the playoffs. And the 8th team in the West that'll make the playoffs, led by Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins, the New Orleans Pelicans. Those are my 8 teams in the West. Like I said before, not in any particular order. They're not seeded. Those are just my 8 teams in each conference. So let's do a quick recap on my 16 teams that'll make the playoffs. Let's go back to the East. The Boston Celtics, the Washington Wizards, the Atlanta Hawks, the Toronto Raptors, Miami Heat, Cleveland Cavaliers, Milwaukee Bucks, and the uprising Philadelphia 76ers. Let's go to the West, part of the recap. The Houston Rockets, the San Antonio Spurs, the Memphis Grizzlies, Oklahoma City Thunder, Portland Trailblazers, Golden State Warriors, and the uprise, the Minnesota Timberwolves. And another uprise, the New Orleans Pelicans. Those are my 16 teams that will make the playoffs for the 2017-2018 season. I'm Matthew, until I do my next blog, which would be about the NFL. Week 6 power ratings and Week 7 picks will be my next blog. I'm Matthew. Enjoy the blog!